players get statues, managers get blame. When a team wins, the striker is a hero. When a team loses, the coach is questioned. But behind every dynasty, every golden era, every tactical revolution, there is a mind, a system, a philosophy, a personality strong enough to control egos, money, pressure, and chaos. Some managers win titles. The greatest ones shape eras. This is not a safe ranking. This is a ranking based on control, dominance, mentality, and impact on football history. And it starts with a man who changed English football forever. Before Wenger, English football was physical, rigid, traditional. Then a Frenchman arrived in 1996, and everything changed. When Arsène Wenger joined Arsenal, many in England mocked him. They didn't know who he was. They didn't trust foreign managers. They didn't trust science in football. But Wenger didn't just bring tactics. He brought revolution. He introduced modern nutrition plans when players were still eating heavy pre-match meals. He implemented sports science before it became standard. He scouted globally when English clubs were still thinking locally. And then came dominance. 3 Premier League titles, 7 FA Cups, and the 2003-4 Invincibles, unbeaten in 38 league matches. That season was not just historic, it was psychological warfare. An entire league tried to break Arsenal, no one did. But Wenger's greatness wasn't only in trophies, it was in transformation. He turned Arsenal into a global brand. He made technical football acceptable in England. He opened the door for every modern tactical coach that followed. Wenger didn't dominate Europe the way others did, but he reshaped the Premier League, and influence is part of greatness. Del Bosque never looked intense. No dramatic touchline screams, no mind games, just calm. But calm can control empires. At Real Madrid, he inherited stars: Zidane, Raúl, Figo, Roberto Carlos. Managing that dressing room wasn't about tactics alone, it was about ego management. He won 2 Champions League titles, 2 La Liga titles. Then he took over Spain during the most technical generation football has ever seen. Xavi, Iniesta, Busquets, Casillas. Spain were already European champions in 2008, but Del Bosque gave them stability. He guided them to World Cup 2010, Euro 2012, back-to-back international dominance. Managing a national team is different from managing a club. Less time, less control, more pressure. Del Bosque mastered both worlds. He didn't revolutionize football, he mastered control at the highest level, and that earns him his place. The Klopp doesn't manage teams, he builds emotional machines. When he took over Borussia Dortmund, Bayern Munich ruled Germany, financially stronger, structurally dominant. Klopp responded with intensity. 2 Bundesliga titles, a Champions League final appearance. He didn't outspend Bayern, he outworked them. Then came Liverpool, a sleeping giant, a club living on history, not trophies. When Klopp arrived, Liverpool were broken psychologically. He rebuilt mentality first. Then came trophies: Champions League 2019, Premier League 2020, ending a 30-year drought. But what defines Klopp is identity. High pressing, relentless intensity, unity between fans and players. He turned Liverpool into believers again, and belief changes history. Marcello Lippi wasn't flashy. He wasn't philosophical like Cruyff. He wasn't emotional like Klopp. He was strategic, cold, organized, ruthless when necessary. At Juventus in the 1990s, Lippi built one of the most dominant Italian teams ever. Serie A titles, Champions League 1996, multiple European finals, but his greatest achievement came later. 2016, Italy were drowning in scandal. The Calciopoli crisis had shattered trust in Italian football. The country was divided, the morale was low, and Lippi stepped into chaos. He rebuilt belief. Tactically disciplined, mentally unified, defensively lethal. Italy won the 2006 World Cup, not with glamour, with control. Lippi didn't just win trophies, he restored national pride under pressure. And doing that on the biggest stage earns him this place. Dan, when he became Real Madrid manager, too inexperienced, too early, just a legend player. Then he did something nobody thought possible. He won the Champions League 3 times in a row: 2016, 2017, 2018. In the modern era of analytics, rotation, financial competition, back-to-back-to-back European titles were supposed to be impossible. Zidane made it normal. Managing Real Madrid isn't about tactics alone. It's about controlling superstars: Cristiano Ronaldo, Sergio Ramos, Modric, Benzema. Zidane didn't overpower them. He understood them. He had aura. When he spoke, players listened. And in football, aura is underrated. He also won La Liga titles during intense Barcelona competition. Zidane's coaching career is shorter than others here, but its peak, unmatched. 3 consecutive Champions Leagues is not luck, it's legacy. Allegri doesn't get romantic headlines. He doesn't preach philosophy, he wins. At AC Milan, he won Serie A. Then he moved to Juventus and replaced Antonio Conte. Replacing a successful coach at Juventus is political suicide, unless you're Allegri. He led Juventus to multiple Serie A titles, 2 Champions League finals, domestic dominance year after year. But what makes Allegri elite is adaptability. He changes systems mid-season. He sacrifices style for results. He wins ugly when necessary. In knockout football, that matters. Allegri's Juventus were not always beautiful, but they were brutally effective. He represents pragmatic greatness, and pragmatic greatness wins trophies. Sir Alex Ferguson didn't inherit a giant. He built one. When he arrived at Manchester United in 1986, the club was not dominant. Liverpool ruled England. United were unstable. For years, Ferguson struggled. He was close to being sacked. Then something shifted. He rebuilt the culture, not just the tactics, the mentality, youth development, discipline, authority. And then came the explosion. 13 Premier League titles, 2 Champions League trophies, 5 FA Cups, over 25 years of sustained dominance. But numbers don't explain Ferguson. Control does. He replaced entire generations without collapse. Cantona era, Beckham and Giggs era, Ronaldo era, Rooney era. Most managers peak for 3 to 5 years. Ferguson ruled for decades. He understood psychology better than anyone. Hairdryer treatment, mind games with rivals, public pressure tactics. He turned Manchester United into an empire. But here's why he is 4th, not 1st. European dominance defines ultimate greatness in this ranking, and while Ferguson conquered England like no one else, others conquered Europe more ruthlessly. Still, no one mastered longevity like him. Carlo Ancelotti is football's ultimate closer when a club wants calm, when a club wants experience, when a club wants Champions League trophies, they call Ancelotti. He has won league titles in Italy, England, France, Germany, Spain. No manager has dominated that many major leagues. And then there's the Champions League. Multiple European Cups across different eras and squads. He won with Milan. He won with Real Madrid. He returned to Madrid and won again. That's not system dominance. That's adaptability. Ancelotti doesn't impose ego. He manages superstars without conflict. Ronaldo, Kaká, Modric, Benzema. He gives players freedom inside structure, calm leadership in chaotic environments. He isn't loud. He isn't revolutionary. He is inevitable. When the biggest nights arrive, Ancelotti's teams rarely panic. And that European consistency places him in the top 3. Pep Guardiola didn't just win. He reprogrammed football. At Barcelona, he inherited talent, but he turned it into a machine. Tiki-taka wasn't invented by him, but he perfected it. 2 Champions League titles with Barca, La Liga dominance, one of the greatest club sides ever assembled, 2008 to 2012. Then he moved to Bayern, more league titles, tactical evolution, then Manchester City, years of domestic dominance, record-breaking Premier League campaigns, treble-winning season. Pep doesn't just coach players, he coaches positioning, he coaches space, he controls matches before they begin. Critics say he needs financial power, supporters say he maximizes it better than anyone. Either way, the influence is undeniable. Today, most elite teams press higher, build from the back, dominate possession. That blueprint traces back to Guardiola. He is not just a winner, he is a movement, and movements shape eras. Jose Mourinho didn't arrive quietly. He announced himself. The special one. Confidence? Yes, but also prophecy. With Porto, he shocked Europe. Champions League winner with a team no one expected. That alone separates him. Then Chelsea, Premier League dominance, breaking Arsenal and Manchester United's rhythm. Then Inter, the 2010 treble, beating Guardiola's Barcelona at their peak. Defensive masterclass, tactical genius, psychological warfare. Then Real Madrid, breaking Barcelona's dominance, record-breaking La Liga points season. Mourinho wins everywhere. Portugal, England, Italy, Spain. But what makes him number 1 in this ranking? He wins without needing perfect conditions. He doesn't require generational academies. He doesn't need philosophical purity. He builds mentality monsters. His teams suffer. They defend. They counter. They survive. And in survival football, he thrives. He beat the tiki-taka machine. He broke dynasties. He thrived under hostility. And unlike others, he did it across radically different squads and systems. Mourinho doesn't seek beauty. He seeks victory. And victory is the ultimate currency. No ranking survives the internet. Ferguson fans will argue. Pep loyalists will defend. Ancelotti supporters will cite trophies. And that's the point. Greatness in management is layered. Tactics, longevity, psychology, Europe, legacy. But in this list, the coach who conquered giants, broke empires, and won in chaos sits at number 1. Write your ranking below. Who did we underrate? Who should be higher? Because football history is not agreed upon. It's debated into eternity.